It is an honor for me and Anna to stand with you again this year and every year going forward for as long as it takes to truly get justice. And we're here on behalf of Pierre Poilievre and the team to mark 5 years since the cold-blooded murders and the downing of Flight PS 752. Devastation that murdered 85 of our own Canadians amongst the 176 innocent souls, shattering the lives of families and of our community right here in Richmond Hill and beyond. And although years have passed, the grief remains, for we remember the lives so callously taken that day at the hands of the murderous regime. And although it's been half a decade since that morning, we still don't have answers, accountability, or justice for what happened. And we have still had no independent investigation. We have had no meaningful sanctions, almost no consequences for those who are part of this brutal dictatorship already living in our midst, as the regime continues to brutalize its own citizens while threatening free and independent nations, arming their proxies and continuing to take the lives of innocent civilians. And I know that every time the families and the associations see that it re-victimizes the trauma that you have faced all of these years. They are allowed to carry out their terrorist activities here in Canada and even here in our community, using our country as a safe haven, a recruitment base, and a place to harass and intimidate each and every one of the victims. The money laundering and the slap in the face that are the children of senior regime operatives going to school in this country's best universities with complete impunity. That must stop, and you are a big reason why that will stop. This is, of course, on top of being allowed to stay in power in Iran, subjugating an entire freedom-seeking movement led by the brave young women who inspire hope and of a freedom-loving world, cheering them on. We've seen that for years now. They subjugate them to a life of second-class citizenry, infringing on the fundamental rights and freedoms and threatening peace and democracy in the Middle East and, frankly, all over the world. In the past 5 years, I have had the honor of meeting many of the Flight 752 families, even luckier to call some of them true friends, many whom are here today, alongside many in this community who want justice from the victims and who ultimately want to see a free Iran. Your advocacy and your determination are inspiring, and I am convinced that it will happen in our lifetime. But we can't ignore the fact that demands have been ignored by people who have the ability to do something about it. We have many allies when it's easy to give a speech or record a video or give platitudes, but when the time comes to act, we hear excuses. And while we have long proposed laws to outright ban the IRGC and actually enforce that ban, secure our borders, levy more sanctions, and secure our communities here, I think the present government has refused to act, and they have allowed them to flourish here in Canada and in our community. And I must say that the victims of Flight 752 deserve better than this. The families, the association deserve better than this. Our country deserves better than this, and you deserve better than this. And today, the Conservatives, Anna and I, on behalf of Pierre, reconfirm our commitment to defund and dismantle the Iranian regime's terrorist network. We will expose and expel those working for foreign dictatorships and make our country safe for all Canadians. Because of you, Because of you, because of this association, because of the work that you do day in and day out, there is a movement building in this country, a movement of law and order, peace and security, freedom and justice, and you are at the forefront of that movement. And by remaining united and standing together, we will not only honor the memories of the victims of Flight 752, but also achieve meaningful, better change for Canada. And as long as we continue to do this, as long as we never give up the fight, we will never forget each and every one of those victims, unjustly and criminally murdered. As you observe this solemn anniversary, we stand with you, and we will always fight for you, for the memories of all of the lost brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, aunts and uncles, friends, and the hardest of all, as we saw from the mothers on stage, the sons and daughters, now and as Canada's next government. Thank you.